He's a moron.
No, but I saw him. I've been seeing that channel. What did he say?
It's the chocolate.
Yo, I might actually win 20 grand off Ronnie James, bro. That'd be fucking crazy.
AW. I've actually seen his stuff, or I mean, seen his room, but yeah, I never really popped
Yeah.
in there. What kind of stuff
I
was he
just
talking
talked
about?
to him.
Is
Well,
he one of
first I
these
asked
like?
him, well, what is
Sorry.
liberal Christianity? And he's like, well, we're not, they don't believe in biblical inerrancy, and they basically just focus themselves entirely on the Gospels. I'm like, okay, that's kind of intelligible. And I asked him a few things, like, do you have like metaphysical like commitments? Like, do you have any like theory of the
Right.
logos? And
Nope.
uh, he's like, no, not really. He's like, like half of like uh, liberal Christians don't even like believe in metaphysics. And I'm like, okay, these
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
just
yeah.
idiots.
It's this kind of
And
New
then
Age
I asked
Christianity.
him, yeah, yeah, and then I asked him,
They don't believe
okay,
in philosophical Christianity. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, and so I asked him, okay, I'm like, what makes you Christian? He's like, well, we follow the teachings of Jesus, like, like love your neighbor, all these things. I'm like, okay. And he's like, we don't believe in the whole thing about salvation. We don't think that anybody needs to be saved of sins. And he's like, we don't believe that you have to believe anything to be, like saved. And I'm like, wait, what does that mean? And he's like, well, you don't have to believe in Jesus. You don't have to like believe in any doctrines like the Trinity. And I'm like, wait, hold on, that doesn't make any sense rationally. Just on the purely philosophical, like rational, like scientific level of like how cognition works.
So his
What you
his
believe
entire
absolutely like goes along with what you actually do. And he's like, well, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, okay. I'm like I gave him the example of Jesus saying, love your neighbor. I'm like, do you think that's just like you can do that without having an actual belief within yourself that this is right and good, that you can just pretend to do this superficially and that's fine and that makes you a good person? And he's like, we don't make that distinction. I'm like, do you think that, when Jesus says that, when you looked at your neighbor's wife, with lust, you've already committed sin, adultery with her in your heart? Do you not think that that clearly
It's
implies
already a
like
bad
your
argument
intention?
because the entailment of
Hold
their
on.
entire
He's still trying to
yeah, no, but the
still trying to go
entailment
to the
of the
conversation.
entire position would be that if you don't have to believe in anything. So if they believe in all these other things, right? We don't have to get to that,
I actually wanted to hear the dialectic.
but it's retarded on its face.
They
You're not even paying
actually
Anyways, go
do.
ahead.
attention.
Continue,
Mike's
AW.
favorite phrase ever is on its face. Dude, I swear to you, I've heard him say that 1,000 times.
Yeah, I do.
I know
Dang,
something he says even more
Well,
often,
on the
and
face
that
of it, it's
you're a
stupid. So
Jew.
shut up, fight. Go ahead, AW.
dang, that's racist.
Wait, finish what you were saying, AW.
He's a Jew.
Okay, so the point was, so it's entailed in the example of, looking at your neighbor's wife with lust already. You don't have to do it because what he was saying, it's all actions, no intentions. I'm like, then how do you explain this? And he's like, well, Jesus doesn't say that you have to believe anything. And I'm like, then how do you justify your prior position that you have to interpret these things? And now you're going back to, well, he didn't literally say that. I'm like, you're contradicting yourself. And then he just got mad at me and said, I took 4 years of like analytic philosophy. I know what like justification looks like, and you haven't given me anything, and just fucking muted me.
Wow.
Yeah, if he's saying all actions
That's
and no
always my
intention,
favorite
that's a
thing,
bad
bro. When you
Christian.
fucking destroy the host so bad, they just mute you.
Hello, bros.
Yeah, so again, you destroyed your own position because you're dumb and didn't understand
Yeah, yeah. It
the
sounds like you're an idiot.
the
It
entailment of
seems
their
like
own
you're an
He
idiot.
just
So,
said,
so
yeah,
do you
the
do you want to make an
entailment of
argument for why you have something higher than 90 IQ?
Fight
yeah, cool.
said
So
you're
the
Yeah,
stupid and
can
entailment
you
you
of their
say
said
own
you're
something
wrong.
intelligent?
hey,
Can you say
Oh,
retard.
something
I'm
intelligent?
speaking.
Yeah, hey,
Hey,
double
retard.
retard.
Yeah,
digit
yeah, retard.
IQ,
Retard.
bro.
You're lowering your
Oh,
IQ every time you speak.
Uh-huh.
Let's keep it civil,
Is that
guys.
even possible? Is that
double
possible?
Uh,
digit IQ,
it is
bro.
Double
Oh
certainly
my
IQ.
god.
possible.
Are you guys
Yo, so
Catholic?
AW, what you were talking about reminds me of this, okay?
I think a Jew shouldn't fight cereal today.
So, Alex O'Connor, like, he put a video up. So this is not a very deep conversation about God, just so you know. But basically, the whole premise of this, the whole framing of this, is that there's four panelists, four different perspectives on the question about God. Obviously, we know where Alex O'Connor stands. The Archbishop of Canterbury is there, and then there's also so it's divided into two, right? It was supposed to be two atheists, quote unquote, two agnostics versus two theists, right? And the Other panelists include Archbishop of Canterbury, and then some like liberal Christian, basically Christian spiritualist who doesn't believe in like metaphysical Christianity.
Crazy.
All you have to do is
Yes.
just watch the first 20 minutes, and you'll get what I'm talking about.
I
Crazy.
think Alex O'Connor's gonna become a Christian.
Wait, can you post that? Wait, can you post the video to that?
Yeah, it's in the side chat.
Archbishop
nice.
of Canterbury is Christian? Really?
No. I said, do you guys think Alex will become a Christian?
No, I don't. I honestly don't.
You really don't think so? I think
Nope.
he's pretty open-minded. I think he might.
No, I think he's just a universal skeptic at the end of the day. He's just playing everybody for he was just baiting everybody for clicks, man.
You think so? You think he's just playing he's playing like a Joe Rogan like consider role? Basically.
Yeah, no, I think he was just he's just playing coy
He might be.
because it's, financial advantageous for him to do that.
He might be. I mean, I don't actually know. I haven't spoken to him.
He's a materialist reductivist at the end of the day. He doesn't think that there's any, rhyme or reason to and for the way that, things appear to us. It's just it could all be like a system of like randomness, and he's fine with that mathematical.
Yeah, is there any
Oh,
atheist philosophy
God.
that actually gives you like the ability to understand things?
He just
What?
I just think he's a universal skeptic in the fact that
Yeah.
he finds it more amusing if he was to have like a set of moral like value about the world, it would be the amusement that he finds in the paradoxes and intuitive contradictions that quote unquote the human animal in particular has with one another. That's my perspective on this guy.
I was
Yo,
talking to
Grizzly.
someone that I think he was he was claiming that universal skepticism is not a worldview.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so you agree? You agree it's not a worldview?
No, I believe it is a worldview.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I
I was
believe
saying
it
it
is
was a worldview.
possible. No, because I believe that what exists is real, right? Which his only claim is he's going to be like, well, that's just a recursive argument for epistemological view, right? That's a recursive epistemological view, right? You still haven't proven it yet. But my point of view is that from my worldview, his worldview is an actual worldview. So we're never going to be able to resolve this. It's just an issue of, from my perspective, because I believe that there are positive externalities in the world, that it is also positive, or it is possibly positive. It's possible to be positively negative. Does that make sense? But not negatively positive. Does that make sense?
What's
So
positive?
he's
No. What's
stuck.
positively negative?
So okay, we're not. I'm not gonna go there. If you don't understand it, then we're not going there.
Okay.
That just
yes.
signals to me, secular, before you start going into the why, and you want to learn for free, that just signals to me that you haven't done any kind of like study and moral analysis.
I mean, I don't. What do you want me to do, bro? Why do you think I'm asking you questions? If you don't answer my questions, you don't have to answer my questions.
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer the questions.
Then don't answer my questions.
Yeah, we're not gonna turn this into a private tutor session.
Okay, can I ask
I mean,
Grizzly what
you're
you
being
guys?
like an asshole for no reason, Abismo. You're
No, I'm
fine
not trying to
answering
be an
any other
asshole.
question. I don't think you actually have a definition for it. I think that's why you don't answer.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You're free.
Alright.
You're free to believe that.
I will believe that.
Okay, Grizzly, what you guys was talking about by then with esoteric baboon about the that you know
What?
I was
Your question is
the
incoherent. Rephrase.
what you guys talking about back then with esoteric baboon in the Abrahamic room that I have listened. Like he was trying to explain something like peak of and without any end, like something like that that you guys are talking about. And like
I'm not really. I
pleasure
don't remember the
pleasure
conversation.
pleasure was the peak and something like that.
I don't remember the conversation specifically now.
Positively negative.
No,
I
the
cannot
baboon
find
was saying,
anything on this.
the baboon was saying that peak is the pleasure is the peak experience, and it will not be a pleasure after it is continuously repeated, something like that. You
Can you
remember?
send me a link of what you're talking about, Abismo? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Talking about positive and negative semantics?
I'm talking to Grizzly.
I'm literally not talking to you at all.
Yeah, there's like two conversations. It's not gonna happen, boys. You have to pick one.
Positive
Okay,
semantics.
Well, so answer me. What you guys talking about, Grizzly?
We were talking about the fact that in nature and in life, pain is more memorable than pleasure, and pain is more acute than pleasure. There's an imbalance there. We were discussing why there would be that would be.
And he was saying that pleasure is the peak reality and something like that.
No, we were just you don't understand. We were just discussing the overall conversation was about why pain is more memorable and acute than pleasure.
Why is that? Can I ask?
But that's what we were discussing, like why that would be.
Abysmal, is this what you're talking
Why?
about?
Why
We were
is it
discussing it.
more memorable?
Does
There's
anyone
various
here know what
According
positively negative means? Does anyone here? AW, do you know what that means?
it would depend on the
Yes.
context.
What does that mean?
Nah, he's
It
yapping.
means that if positive here is an affirmation. So somebody's affirming a negative. That's it.
Someone's affirming a
And,
negative.
and it's going to depend on the context.
Well,
I
the
see.
context was somebody being a global skeptic, that is an affirming negative, which it is.
By the way,
So
if
if
I
I
ask
said like,
you,
if I said
my
something
God,
doesn't exist, right? Is that a positive negative?
No, it's just a positive.
No,
If
no,
I
a
say
square
something doesn't
circle.
exist,
Wait, a square circle would be a positive negative, right?
isn't doesn't exist a
No,
negative?
no,
No, hold on. Would a
no.
square
If
circle
you
not be
say
a positive
something
negative?
doesn't exist, that is a positive negative, yes.
Okay, that's
it
what
is
I
a
asked.
positive
Oh,
and
okay.
negative both. It is
Like
a
the
both
No,
reason
it's
global
positive and
skepticism is
negative.
a positive negative is that global skepticism implies that certain things are not required for its own position, but there is requirements. You ever heard
It
like
is
the Darth Dawkins like line of argument, asking somebody, do you accept like the God worldview or the non-God worldview?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
agnostics
A
will
line
say,
of
I don't accept either. And no, you have to stand on one side or the other. Either you accept that all
yeah,
facts require God for their intelligibility, or you don't.
yeah, exactly. You're right.
okay.
So
Yeah,
that's why global skepticism is a positive negative in a sense.
yeah,
So
yeah. You're
do
affirming
global
something which is
skeptics
impossible.
claim neither? Is that
So,
what you're saying?
Darth Dawkins beat you in a debate, huh?
AW, so you're saying they claim neither?
Yeah, a global skeptic would say, I claim to know nothing, but they are claiming to know something, especially if they then make like negative reductions of all other positions.
How do you
Yeah,
how do you argue though that they're claiming something?
they're claiming to be neutral on God, sir, and you can't be neutral on God.
AW.
Yeah, the other guy, what he said.
Oh, I don't have him. I think I'm.
Boom.
What'd you say, Grizzly?
Volt. You're kind of spiraling down the same road. I mean, you said yourself, right? Like you understand that his position is that he doesn't believe. I'm talking about Alex O'Connor. He doesn't believe that it's possible to hold universal skepticism. He's basically self-owning himself, right? He's
He
being
doesn't believe.
disingenuous.
He doesn't believe that you can hold this position versus skepticism. That's what you just said.
Yeah,
But you're saying he is a universal skeptic.
correct. According to our worldview, but that's the thing. We're at an impasse right now, right?
Wait, how does that make any
He's
sense?
going to
If you're
he's going to criticize he's gonna criticize the moral objectivist and say that our epistemology is just recursive logic, right? So therefore he's gonna choose to just remain, skeptical about things until it's proven otherwise, right? But from our perspective, he's just a universal skeptic because he's refusing to make any claim about the external world. So
is
we're in an
recursive logic
impasse.
just circular
Like
reasoning,
I
or
I
is it?
don't believe he will ever be a Christian.
No, no. One day he might wake up to the fact that God exists. He could.
I
But
mean,
it's
Is
pretty
here's
tough
the
on
thing. Like, I think
us.
it's a misunderstanding and it's a serious metaphysical overcalculation to just assume that Christianity is for everybody. I don't think that that's the case. It's not biblical either.
is
God is
recursive
for
logic
everybody,
just
sir.
circular
No,
reasoning, or is
it's
that
not.
something different?
He died for the
God
many.
is for every.
No,
Wait, God
he
is for
died for the
everybody.
many. He died for the many. And only if you begin with the ontology that God exists can you assume that from
Of
the
course.
biblical narrative that Christ's sacrifice at the cross itself and not, his descent into hell was
But
sufficient for the
Abisma,
salvation of all.
But Abisma, you're
But
forgetting
the
something very
words in the
important.
scripture, is Christ died for the many. Simple as that.
I know, but
There's
Abisma,
nothing
you're
biblically
forgetting something
inconsistent with
very
it.
important. Number one is that Christianity could be false. Right?
It's a serious
It's not necessary.
overestimation, man.
Right. So God can't be false. The God necessarily is true, but Christianity is not necessarily true. Christianity could be false, but God couldn't be false. You see,
You're
but
you're
you
you're
think
just
God and
gonna think yourself
Christianity.
into a paradox, dude.
No. But I say that's very important. Number one, a business. So therefore, God is for everyone because every human being has the same access to God as everyone else. We're all equal
No,
with our
you're wrong. God
potential
is
access
not
to God.
made for the human person. The human person is made for God. You have it
What?
inverted. Again, you're
God created humans.
overthinking yourself into a paradox, man.
God created humans, not the other way around.
No. The right question is what is the purpose for creating man? And the purpose is not
The-
for man. Creation was not for man.
To submit.
Creation is for the
well,
glorification of God. That's the
well, that's
Christian
your
Yeah, to
thesis.
opinion at
submit.
the current moment. So
No, that's the
you're
biblical paradigm, sir. Like you
right,
can't just
but
like
that's your,
use the biblical paradigm to
but
fit
it's not a
whatever
necessary.
your subjective worldview is.
Abysmo, but it's
That's
not a
what you're trying to
necessary
do. You're
fact.
trying to pigeonhole
But
the
the biblical,
gospels.
but Abysmo, but the biblical narrative is not a necessary fact. God is a necessary fact, but not
Okay,
the
so then
Christian
at the end of the day, do you
biblical narrative.
believe then that the Bible is just a work of human authorship? This is a
That's what I
critical
personally
question for
think.
you to
Yeah.
answer. If you believe
I
that
personally,
the scriptures, right, has a divine author, right, or divine inspiration, do you believe in divine inspiration? Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in the supernatural? You're just begging all these questions.
but the fact is, God exists,
You have to
Abysmo,
make a
but the
decision,
Bible might
man.
be wrong.
You have to make a decision.
I
That's it.
already have. I'm not a Christian. It's fine.
Then
I've
I'm
already made my
asked.
decision.
Okay, great. Then thank you for being clear.
Great,
You don't have to act
but
all
remember,
coy.
great. But we were
We don't
having a
have to be
philosophical
obscene
debate
with each
about.
other.
I know, but we were having a
That's just
philosophical discussion
that's just the
about.
framing of the conversation.
But,
And
but
and,
we were
and this
having
is
a
what I mean.
philosophical.
These are
Abysmo,
irreconcilable,
Abysmo.
irreducible, fundamental intuitions that we have in both our approach to the world and to our approach in the use of application of logic. Simple as that.
Abysmo,
We
we were
do
having
not
a
have to
philosophical
find a middle
discussion.
ground. There's no
Abysmo,
synthesis. There's no
Abysmo,
hermeneutic of continuity. There's
can I
no
let you
there
finish
there,
your word,
right? There's
please?
no middle.
Abysmo, we're having a philosophical discussion
Hold on, I
about
have to
things
take a
like
dump.
logic
I'll
and
be right back,
necessity.
Grizzly.
Yeah, isn't
I've
that
been
funny?
holding it in for past 5 minutes. I have to poop.
Oh, you better run. You better make it to the toilet, or leave a stain somewhere. So the bottom line is, God is necessary, but Christianity is not necessary.
Why would that be?
Because God can't be false, but Christianity could be false.
Why would that be?
It's just logic. So we've just been discussing it. I don't know if you were listening.
I mean, there is a logic that says otherwise.
No, there's not.
Yeah, you ever heard of Hegel's philosophical system?
It wouldn't matter, because this is a
Oh, it would
necessary fact.
matter.
It wouldn't matter.
Hegel has an absolute logic. Do you?
Right, man.
God is a necessary fact. But what some books
Well,
says is not
yes.
a necessary fact,
According to who? You?
according
And
to laws of
what is
logic.
God precisely?
The source of all contingencies.
And how do you know contingencies come from God?
Everything, all the constants and contingencies come from God. So without that, everything would just be randomness.
And how do you know this is God?
It would just be the God would just be the grounding for all possibilities. The grounding for
So
all
are
possibilities.
you?
That would be
Would
God.
the Big Bang be God?
No, that wouldn't be God. No,
Would space be God?
no. It would be the
Is anything
grounding for all
natural?
contingencies. It would be the grounding for all contingencies.
Is it a
It would be
subject?
it would be the arbitration mechanism for all the constants, such as the laws and
Yeah.
uniformities. You see,
But is that
it would be
just
the
a thing or is it
source
a
of
person?
arbitration for all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, but is it a
Yeah.
person or is it a
It's
thing?
not a physical thing, sir.
Well, no. Is it a person or a thing? Things are not just merely physical. You can have intellectual things.
It would have to be. It would have to have the possibility of forward thinking and planning ahead. It would have to be mind.
Persons are things.
It would have to be a
No.
mind.
They're not
It
mere
couldn't just be a
things.
chair. It couldn't be a chair
Yes,
or a metaphysical chair. It would have to be a
sure, but
mind.
is it a thing or is it a person?
A mind.
Well, is it a person or is it a thing? You know the distinction between a person and a thing. I'm not asking
I know,
between
but there's a
minds
third
and things.
option.
I'm
I know,
saying
but
a
that's
person
No,
or a
dichotomy.
I think
thing.
that I
There are
think you're
more
actually
options,
like
sir. There are more
superimposing.
options on that list, sir. You gave us a 2 bullet point list, but there's more bullet points on that list.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
asking.
false
You're
dichotomy.
basically being the equivalent of somebody says, well, nature is God because
I never
nature
said
can
that.
be understood. Well, no, I'm
I've never
saying that
said
you're
that.
basically playing around that because you're basically saying,
No,
well, it might be a self-producing thing, but it's still just a thing.
a person or thing aren't the only 2 options, sir.
Yes, they are. In this case,
They're
is
not.
it a
They're
person or
not.
is it a thing? Can you talk to God?
There are
Does
other
God care
options other
about
than
you?
those aren't the only 2 options.
Why not?
What do you mean? Why not?
Yeah, why
Just
not?
aren't. They aren't.
They
There's more
aren't.
options.
Oh, because you say so? Just because you enumerate random fictitious things, that makes it so?
I'm just
So
telling
okay,
you,
what
there's more than
are
those 2
options?
options. There's just more than those 2 options. Simple as that.
Well, so you don't have a justification for that. You just
So,
want to say that.
so is the only thing in existence persons and things? Is that it? Is there no other thing apart from persons and things?
Oh, wait. First, you're saying God is the ground of existence, and now you're appealing to random things in existence. Which
I'm
is it?
asking you. I'm asking you. Is the only thing that
Well,
exists
I didn't
persons
say
and
that. I
things?
didn't say that.
Well,
So
you only
if
gave me
I
2
didn't say
options. You
that,
said God is either a person or a thing. So I asked you,
oh
what is that
yes,
the only
which
2
is it?
options? You think it's the only 2 options?
Yes, those are the only
Why are
two
there?
options here. Is
Why isn't
God
there a
a
third
thing or
option?
just
Wait,
or a
why isn't there a
person?
third
Which is it?
option? Why isn't there a third
Why would
option?
it? Tell me what the third option is and why that should be
But
entailed.
why isn't there a third option? Why have you only given me 2 options?
What would be the third option? Tell me.
No. Why did you only give me 2 options?
Because those are the options. A subject or an object. Which is it?
You said a person or a thing.
Yeah, a subject or an object. Person, subject,
Well, now
object,
you're
thing.
changing the words. Now you're
I'm not.
changing the
Yeah,
words.
well. I mean, it seems that you don't understand basic English, so I'm changing it to more technical. Maybe you understand that.
It looks like you've been caught talking shit, and now you're trying to cover yourself up. That's what
Oh,
happened.
do you have a response or do you not? I mean, you just been saying, well, there's
So,
more. You're not telling me why.
so,
So you
so,
just things are
so,
more just because you say
so,
they're more.
I
so
came
God
back
is
from taking a
necessary, and it would
shit.
be a
Grizzly, don't you find
yeah,
it
exactly.
ironic?
And I'm taking a
Don't you
shit
find
on.
it
I'm taking a shit
ironic
on this
how I
atheist,
would
bro.
choose rather go and attend to taking a shit than trying to question like whether I
Bro,
sinned in
we're
this
both
case
taking
that I had to
shits,
take
bro.
a
You
shit.
took a real shit. I'm taking a metaphysical shit on this atheist.
Sounds like you're the atheist, dude.
Yeah.
You're the one who can't accept the
You're the
existence of
one
God.
you're the one who can't say God is a person, and you're like, well, I don't know. Why is it just those two? Why
God is
can't
not
it
a
be a third?
person.
Well, tell me
God is
what the
not a
third.
person. It's a mind.
Okay, there you are. You're an atheist. Congratulations.
God is a mind. It's not a person, is it?
No, idealists can be atheists too. It doesn't bother.
So last time I checked, a person needs to have a body. Last time I checked.
Last I checked, that's not what defines a person. What defines a person
Well,
is conscious
oh,
agency and willing.
Correct.
oh,
AW, God is a
can you
being.
show me one of those? Can you show me one of those without a body?
Yes, you don't believe in angels?
Oh, so
God
I've
is
got
a
to believe
being.
in something now to accept what you're saying. Okay. Well,
Well,
no thanks.
no. I mean, look. You believe things already, so why are you fucking talking shit?
You believe in persons without bodies out here. Look.
Yes, I do. Can you not conceive of something that is an agent without a body? I mean, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I can, but it wouldn't be a person.
It would be a person. What would stop them from
No,
being a person? How would
it
they
wouldn't be a
not be
person.
able to be
There'll be a different
a
word for that. It
conscious
wouldn't be a person.
subject with agential power? That's literally what angels are. They're just intellectual beings who have an instant relationship with material things. They can have
Well, I don't. It
intellectual
would just be.
volition,
It would be a
and
conscious
we
entity
don't.
without a body. Yeah, a conscious entity without a body. It wouldn't be a person, though.
Yeah, it's still a person.
God
Yeah,
is a
you're using
being of
person in a way
knowledge.
that nobody uses it.
No, I'm
God
using
Now,
it
is
like
now
a
who doesn't
being
everyone
speak
uses
basic
it.
expressed by
English, buddy?
knowledge.
Now who doesn't speak basic English?
No, you're the one. A person means a human being with a body.
Yeah,
You idiot.
yeah. I would bet you $20 if you go ask a random person in the street about your definition of person, they would tell you you're wrong.
No, that's exactly what it means. A person means a human being.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not speaking
No,
English, buddy.
I'm gonna cope out here. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, cope. You haven't made a single argument so far. You just keep saying, "Well, I don't believe that." Well, who cares what you believe?
What are you talking about? I proved the existence of God to you, so
You
what are you
haven't
saying?
proven anything. You just proved the existence of a thing. Look, there are things. Well, no shit. There's got to be things.
I already explained to you it's a mindset, not a thing.
A mind is a thing. That doesn't stop it.
No, it's not. Well, maybe your mind is a thing, because dense as
I
a
mean,
thing.
like, are you aware that not everybody else in the world is a retarded materialist?
Well, your
That
mind
not
is pretty
everybody
dense.
understands things as only being instantiated as material bodies.
Why is your mind so
It's
dense,
only about
like an
probably
object?
what, like 5% of the population that has this retarded belief.
So why is your mind so dense, like a
Why is
Grizzly,
thing?
yours? I mean,
Grizzly, he's just gonna continue to tap dance around you because you're missing a critical step in
Go ahead,
your
help me out, but
metaphysical theory. There's a
go
step
ahead.
between corporeity and the mind. And you're just missing it
Oh
entirely.
yeah.
It just
Go ahead.
shows how kind of ignorant you are, right? Of like
Oh yeah.
just like basic like classical metaphysics that doesn't even involve like reference to divine proposition.
So would you consider angels as people or
Well,
persons?
what's
Sorry.
between what? Hey, yo, what's the metaphysical step between having a mind and corporeity, or corporeity and then having a
What do you mean
mind?
by corporeity? You mean
So
like
how do
physicality,
you
yeah,
go
like a
from
body, yeah?
corporeity? How do you go from corporeity to presuming that there is a mind? Explain us that.
How pumped
Would
are
you
you
say? Well,
guys
explain
with
explain
fucking
what corporeity means. Something
fanboys?
that's a physical body,
Correct. What else would it mean?
Boring.
right? So
Maybe before you start questioning the usages of terms, you try to ask what else it could be, right?
so in my metaphysical
Employ a
framework,
more
so
sophisticated
if we have a
criterion,
mind,
right? Of like
so if we
thinking,
have a
right?
mind,
Like the negative.
so if we have an agent, right? If we have an agent or whatever, a mind without a body, and then we have an
Hold on,
agent,
but
a
how do you
mind
get to
with a
mind
body.
from
We hold
corporeity?
on. Let me finish, man.
You're
Hold on.
missing a critical
We would
step,
call
man.
that. Hold on. We would call those different things, right? So if we have an entity that is conscious with a body or without a body, we
You're
wouldn't
just
call them
talking
both
about
persons.
predication, man. You're not talking about anything.
Why would you call both of those?
But
For
how do
me, in
you
my
go
metaphysical framework,
how do
let
you
me
go
finish, Abisma. Hold
metaphysically
on.
from corporeity,
Hold on.
right? From material bodies, how do you go
Abisma,
from
let me finish
material
my point.
bodies to a mind?
yeah, for sure.
Please explain to us how the classics did this.
I don't care about the class. I've got my own metaphysical framework that I use. I don't
Yeah, so
need
you're
those
making
idiots.
shit up, dude.
No, I'm
You're making
interpreting
shit up.
reality. I am interpreting reality critically. I'm not just going on what some people
Yeah,
said in
you're
books.
doing it ignorantly, so you don't know.
No, I'm doing it independently, and you're following along.
Yeah, that's
That's the
called
difference.
being ignorant and
Nope,
trying to
no,
reinvent
that's
the
not.
wheel when somebody invented
No,
it 2,000 years
no,
ago and
it's
they
called
did it
critical
much better than
thinking, sir.
you.
No, it's called critical thinking, and you lack the skills or the energy for it.
Well, I guess just to interject, how can you think independently when you exist within the context of the world that you're in? I mean, that's not possible. You're necessarily
It is possible.
predicating.
I'll
You're
give you an example.
necessarily predicating what you.
I'll
Okay.
give you an example. I'll answer you. No bullshit. So when we interpret reality, remember, reality is this absolute thing which exists outside of us. When we try and understand what that is, how it works, etc., we've only got two ways of doing that. Either we're going to use our senses, our intuitions, our logics, whatever, in our brains, or we're going to listen to others and just accept what they're saying without thinking for ourselves and just accepting what other people are telling us. Those are the two options you're going to have. If you're independent, you're going to use your own critical thinking,
Yeah, but
and
the
if
thing is,
you're
it's
dependent, you're going to believe in
it's still
books and
paradoxical to
theories.
you,
Your
Grizzly,
intuition.
because in your metaphysical paradigm, you're missing a critical step. The one critical step that the ancients, quote unquote, grappled with, right? And they actually tried to create categories out of. And you still haven't mentioned it yet.
I don't
Just
have to
real
mention.
quick.
How do you go from
I needed to answer
corporeity
that
to
guy, and I
mind?
did.
What is that critical step?
You don't operate only on the basis of your intuitions, because your intuitions are formed by the world around you and even the language that you use. The language that you use colors the way that you think because of the
So you have to understand.
capacity of the people that created it. Like that's
Wait a minute.
you don't
So
ever think independently.
So I think you're misunderstanding the path of causality, right? It's not that I am
No,
changed by my environment. Hold on.
you're
One sec.
you're still dancing around the issue, man.
Hold on. Let me answer him, man. Hold on.
No.
It's not the
What is the
case.
critical step between
Please, man.
what is the
Abysmo, please.
critical
Let me
step
answer this,
between
man.
corporeity and
Abysmo,
mind?
stop.
I almost slipped.
Stop. Let me answer
And I
this, man.
almost
Hold on.
told you.
Abysmo, please. Abysmo, let me answer this, man. Hold on, right? So it's not the case that I'm walking around and reality is affecting me and influencing me, right? It's the opposite. I'm walking around and I am
Oh
looking
my
at it,
god,
this
dude, this is
reality,
brain
and I'm
rot.
interpreting it and I'm trying to
I think both
accurately
are
like take a snapshot of it and accurately
We're at a brain
understand
rot
it.
hole.
It's not
Grizzly, you're
both
still
affecting
not.
it's affecting do you understand
both
the
are
do you
true.
understand the
You
path of
just hijacked the
causality here, yeah?
conversation, and now you're just evading my
I
I'm
answered
saying
question.
his
it's
question.
reality is a collaborative effort, man. Is what I'm trying to
Yeah, but you're
say.
not
Is that
answering
like
it
when
in any
you're a
kind of
No, it's not.
systematic
Yeah,
way,
sorry,
man. You're
mate.
just
It's
making
not.
shit up.
Trees aren't collaborating with you at all, sir.
You're just making shit up, Grizz.
Even
I'm
though
not.
Grizz, you
look,
lack discipline.
sorry,
You
your
lack discipline. You need to
perception
go
of
read.
reality.
Stop being insulting, man. Just because I
I'm not
destroyed you in this
If you
discussion.
find
Like
it insulting,
being
then go fix it. Go read.
The only way to fix you insulting me is you to stop,
Listen,
rather than me
here's the
doing
thing.
it.
I'm
At the
sorry,
end of the
I
day,
came to
if you
this
get
late.
insulted by
I
other
came to this
people, it's
late.
your own
What's the
fucking damn fault.
hey?
Okay, well, Jesus
I
was
came to this late.
queer. Don't get insulted, Abismo.
What what's the
You will,
disagreement?
though.
What's the disagreement?
You will. What?
I
Why don't
just
you
heard
go
one
ahead and
thing that I
read
think you said
about your queer Jesus? Dead Jew on a
hey,
stick. Why don't you go read about that?
can we
Don't get
go back?
insulted, Abismo.
What's dude? I'm just trying to ask. What was the disagreement? Like, what was the conversation? Because I just heard you say something that I found objectionable. I joined like 5 minutes ago. What was the conversation?
I don't feel
The
like
existence of God.
rephrasing it because we're just gonna go down the same spiral again. Because he's evading the question, the original question I asked him.
Yeah, Abismo doesn't like it when I don't
So
accept Christianity. He doesn't like it.
no, so
He doesn't want me to find God in my own terms.
Grizzly claims to have a metaphysical paradigm to understand like or
Reality.
to account for like our intuitions.
Reality. Yeah.
And
What a paradigm?
So in other words,
I don't know what
I
his
want to
paradigm
find God.
is.
I want to find God independently with my intuition. He wants to find it with a book, and he thinks he's better than me.
He
That's
thinks that
funny,
Well,
that.
just
I guess
because we could suppose that God is a mind, that he could just like have some intuitive connection with the mind. But he's not realizing, where he's completely wholly
what's both?
ignorant of, is that even for the classics, there was a critical step right between corporeity and the mind, and
Why are you
he
so
still has
attached to these
no
classics,
clue.
bro?
He still has
Well,
no
Why are
clue.
you
He
Paul,
hasn't even
attached
said it.
to these, bro?
And I
Wait.
keep
Why are
asking
you
Paul,
him over and
attached
over
to some
again, what did
philosophers,
ancients
some
talk
old
about?
men 1,000 years ago? Why are you attached to these fools for? What? I don't get it.
I just
Like,
would. I'd like
he
to
doesn't
add
have a
that
basis. He doesn't
I
have a
think
basis for accounting for agency. He doesn't have a basis for like delineating or
I
weighing,
do. I do have a basis
one
for all
type
of
of
that.
good
It's
from
just
another good.
my proprietary view. You don't
Yeah,
like it.
it's all privation, man. You're
wait.
correct. It's
Hey,
all
just so I can
privation to you.
understand,
You're
just so
just
I
a
can
selfish
understand what your
idiot.
position is, Grizzly. So I can understand your position. Are you saying basically I have the capacity for revelation, and I've received revelation, and that's what informs my metaphysics? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I already explained it. I'll say it again. There are only two ways one can know something to be true, right? I'm going to work it out with my own using my sense perception. Remember, we all start off with sense perception, by the way, right?
Agreed.
Everyone starts off with sense perception. We all accept sense perception. We're not fucking autists, okay? Move on. Right, so
Yo,
I
Krillin,
sense stuff, right?
you're
Hold on.
hijacking.
So there's
You're
only two
getting
pathways
feedback from
here.
your mic.
There's only two pathways. I'm going to use my sense. So pathway number one, I'm going to use my sense perception to receive the world with my eyes and my ears, and then use my mind and my intuition, blah blah blah, in the internal mechanics to work out what's true. Option two, I'm just going to read books, listen to people, watch TV programs, be educated, and just believe what I'm told
Blah blah
without
blah.
using my
Blah blah
intuitions
blah.
or without, I don't know, questioning anything critically. I'm just going to follow along. Those are the only
Yeah.
two options, boys.
Did you make up your own concept?
Those,
Like, did you make up causality? Were you the one who invented it?
I didn't invent it. I'm just ascertaining it. I'm discovering it, just like you.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
but are you
discovered it?
discovering it
Yeah,
with your
I'm
mind or with your
sure that
body?
you discovered that because your teacher told you at school that there was a concept called causality, and you're like, oh, I like that. That seems to make sense.
No, I think we all
Now,
discovered
did
it
you
when we were
actually
2 years
ascertain that it
old, bro.
actually like made
human
sense?
knowledge, yeah, human knowledge is iterative. Like I think that's what they're getting at. Is human knowledge is iterative. Like I agree with you
Right,
that
but when it
you
comes
can
to
have
Metaphysically,
ascertaining
there's
reality,
a
sir,
critical
hold on. When
step.
it comes to
There's a critical component, right? metaphysically that he's wholly ignorant, he's not even addressing. And so it's just one big pile of dog shit. Like it's just
No,
like
bro, you're
mixed
attached to some
mashed,
Hellenized fucking philosophical bullshit,
digested,
dude. I don't understand.
leftovers. That's what's coming
The,
out of
the,
his
the
head
reality
right
is,
now.
the reality is, I'm right. There's only
He
two
doesn't have
ways you can do this:
categories.
internal mind
You don't
or
have
external
categories.
information. Right?
How
That's
do
the
you
only
go
way you
from
can get to
corporeity to a
anywhere.
mind? What's the difference between mind and
I
mind?
don't understand, but I don't read your crappy gay philosophers, dude.
Are
I
you
don't need to
talking about
follow
like
that pathway.
Aristotelian? Are you talking about like Aristotelian categories?
No, we're talking about metaphysics right now, Krillin. So Grizzly, I'm
Oh,
gonna
oh,
ask you
oh!
one more
Now I know
time.
why Abisma.
You
Wait,
can
now I
either
realize why
engage in the
Abisma is asking me
conversation
that.
or no longer having a two-way conversation, Grizzly. Answer me
Oh my God,
this.
Abisma!
Answer
I've
me
just realized why
this.
you're asking me
There
that.
is a critical metaphysical step that mediates between corporeity and the mind, as you presuppose or you propose or you presume is what we mean by God. Like you mean the latter, right? You mean mind. So what's the critical step between bodily
I
things
don't
and the
follow those
mind?
philosophers. That's not my philosophical framework.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
care
mute
about
you
that
now because you're
bullshit.
refusing to answer. So I'm just gonna say it for your benefit, Grizzly. Just in the off chance that you're even like slightly interested, it's called intellection, right? It's the intellect,
Agreed.
dumbass.